So, Black Girl Horror Stories, anyone? I want to start off saying that the inspiration for drawing this image, but also making this video, was after watching Carpi's Book Island video called Forced Bookish Diversity, Melanin Book Magic. She was talking about diversity in books and representations, but the thing that inspired me to write this was when she, I think it was a friend of hers, I don't know. She and a friend of hers talking about people touching their hair, which I thought was remind me of my own experience, because I had experience on both sides. I had people touch my hair, but I also touch, other people's hair. So I just want to share my personal experience and take before I jump into my story, take a few minutes just to explain what I'm doing. I'm drawing with I did a really quick sketch with a light color pencil because I'm tired of seeing like graphite blending in with my markers and my watercolors, so I decided to try using color pencils to draw now. Plus I have a whole bunch of them, so why not? Like a whole case full. So I'm drawing with a light one, and then I'm outlining with a darker color pencil to know exactly what I'm coloring and where I'm coloring. Anyway, back to my story. So I have a few stories about, I know people usually don't touch my hair. I usually have it braided or whatever. But like when I was in high school, I had my hair perm. So this was way back then. Way back, like 10 years ago, so probably more. Anyway, gosh, I'm old. But so it started with high school. I remember I usually don't have a lot of stories I remember so much because it wasn't like a very emotional thing where I got really angry. It was when my boyfriend was touching her hair, and then he went and touched my hair, and then compared my hair to hers. I'm like, what the fuck? Who does this? But yeah, that one got to me a little bit. But I think like we sat down, talked, whatever, and never touched my hair again. So again, it wasn't a very emotional, overwhelming, got me really angry thing. As long as he understand, he didn't do it again. But yeah, and asked permission first. And then another time was with little kids, so they're little kids, so they're gonna be curious. But when they wanted to touch my hair, there was two instances when I think they did wanted it. One of them was like, I heard this. They wanted to touch my hair, and one of my coworkers says like, "Why don't you ask Miss Gabby?" And then he did, and I was like, they're curious, and it wasn't like something to get overly upset or emotional about. I was like. So I was like, okay, whatever, but at least they asked, so it was just curious. Again, nothing overwhelmingly emotional. And then another time was when a kid was playing around and he decided to touch my hair, and I told him not to do it, and why not to do it. I don't know if they got it, but he didn't do it again, so it was whatever. Again, nothing too over emotional. It's just like little tidbits of things that happen. And I was like, watching it made me relive my moments. But then I remember the times when I touched someone in the hair, so I'm going to explain that one and talk about that one right now. And so the time that I touched, again, this go back to high school, like it was actually right around the time my boyfriend touched my hair, and I'm like, I was so mad. And then after that discussion was through, and he stopped touching my hair. I talked to his girlfriend, and my friend, and I was talking about the hairs and what she does to her hair, and we also pretty much talking about hair care. And by the way, she was Asian, I was black. If that wasn't so obvious already. So, it was talking hair, so I was like comparing you touching. Got to touch her hair to compare and contrast, and it's about hair care and the difference in hair care again. But I asked, so it wasn't like I randomly touched it or whatever. And another time was with another friend. Again, whenever a story about hair or comparing hair and care, and with permission, we get to touch your hair. Another one was like a white friend in high school. So it wasn't very diverse, but it was more diverse now then than it was now. If I think about the high school now, how my high school is now, if that make any sense. But yeah, as I was like during those time, it wasn't too bad. And then, but the most funniest one was when, after I graduated college, I decided to go on my study abroad program with my college to Japan. And I always see these guys walking around Japan with these hairdos. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want to run my hand in it, because like just seeing their hairstyles, like I was obsessed. And I was like 3 weeks. We were staying 3 weeks in Japan, and it was right around like end of the second week, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, I reached my peak. And then we met some students in the college and befriended. And one of them decided to walk with us to the station of wherever we was going with as a class. And I was like, Japanese guy was crossing the street, and I saw his hairdo. I'm like, I thought I said this in my head, but I think I said it out loud. And this is the one I remember the most because it was so funny, and it just I felt kind of bad. This guy was walking around, just like, I really want to touch a guy's hair. And my friend's like, oh, because he hairstyle, right? I know, me too. And she's like, if you ask Kito, maybe he will let you to, that's not his name, by the way. I'm pretty sure I pronounced it wrong anyway. But anyway, I was just calling him Kito. He'll allow you to touch his hair. And I'm like, okay. So I turn around and quickly, in English, by the way, ask him, can I touch your hair? And he's like, huh? And I touch his hair, and I turn around real quick, really embarrassed, and like, but it was like, okay, time out from the story. I just want to point out about this Sharpies right here. My Sharpie, because I use almond for everything, for all my skin colors and mixed with other colors. My almond Sharpie and my yellow Sharpie are drying out, and it was like so irritating. I was getting so mad, and it kind of messed up my skin. But anyway, back to the story. I was like, oh, so embarrassing. I was like, but I was happy about it, but I felt really, really bad. And the thing about their hair was like, it was really hard because they put so much gel or hairspray. I don't know what, but it was really hard. But I was happy I did it. But again, I felt so bad. And that was so funny. And that's the one I remember the most. Of all the hair stories, that's the one I remember the most. I also being because it's not even the one that's most recent. The one with the kids was most recent. But that's the one that just prevailed in my head. And I just keep thinking about it because I think it's because I did the action, and he really didn't understand me because I said it so fast in English because I was nervous. And then after a while, my classmates asked me, like, one of my female classmates asked me, like, how was it? I was like, it was hard. I was like, yeah, maybe because of the gel and they put in here, like, yeah. But yeah, so that's my experience traveling to Japan and touching someone's hair and my hair stories. But and that's all there is to it, really. So still have so much more drawings to go, and I think I'm just gonna let it play out. But yeah, so my Sharpie was really, really, really dry. I couldn't. It was dead. It was dead at this point. So I had to toss it. I was so sad. Both my yellow and my almond color. But you know what? I'm also really happy that I think I made a video about this. I don't know when I posted it. I'm going to post it later. I didn't post it yet now. But I made a video of these markers that I recently bought, and I was trying them out. I think it was going to be my unboxing. Yes, it's going to be my second unboxing video. I didn't put it up yet, but I will. And I bought these markers to go with my Sharpies because my limit of skin colors is limited to almond, which again, by this point was dried out. But thanks to my 72 count Sharpies that I bought, those are the only one that has the fine point almond color. Again, I don't buy Sharpie unless I have the almond color in the set. And so now I really was able to finish the drawing. So yeah, that's about it. And for this drawing, I use a reference I found online. So if you see me going to the side of the screen, that's because I was measuring it. And I think, is that all? Oh, and the Sharpies I'm using is not from the set. It's just, I had an old set of Sharpies, so that's where my almond and yellow was drying up from. So I'm mostly trying to use up that one. But my green and purple are so still juicy, so that's good. And the one that I was using for the shadow was also pretty juicy. So my Sharpie is not completely all dried up, not all the colors at least. And my cat is coming in to beg me for food. I wonder if you can hear him scratching his post. He was meowing really outside. So, and for the background, I did a quick wash of watercolor because I didn't want to leave the background blank, but I also didn't want to color it in darker either. Not because I'm lazy, but because also a lot of the Sharpies are really high in contrast, so might as well put at least some kind of contrast, right? And so the skin is not as flat as I would like, but I still like the drawing. In the end, you'll see it, the overall feeling of it. Again, except for the skin, which was such a disappointment to me. I also think I messed up on the pencil. I think I should have left a little bit more highlight in the pencil, like I did with the brush and pen. Oh well. Yes. I think that's about it. Oh, and I color in the eye. Yeah. Yeah, so that's about it for at least that portion. And the last portion I want to talk about is the hair. I have no idea how I was going to do or color the hair. I pretty much did whatever. I added shadow to the eyelashes. I don't know if you can see it from here, like this angle. But I like how the shading of the shirt came. I wasn't expecting it to come out this good. At least it looks good on camera. Whenever I look at my art, I think it looks better on camera than I do in live. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just too harsh on myself. So, anywho, moving to the hair, I wasn't sure what I wasn't sure what I was doing. I was just doing a whole bunch of circles and hopefully it'll look like an afro, like a curly afro. Especially when I'm adding the shading of it. And it was only until like after I put shading down, because I did test it out. I didn't test it out properly. I just put ... and like which color looks closest or which one will give me light, medium, dark. And I wanted purple. But like the purple I had, the other purple I had looks pink anyway. This was the purplish purple I had. At least in my old set. As I was using most of my old set, not my new one. I didn't even think of looking at the new one. So when I put it down the shade in the shadow, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like so pink. It's pink and purple hair. Pink is the shadow. Pink is the dark shadows. That's what you get. So pink shadows and curly hair. But as I said, the overall, I actually really liked and enjoyed it. And I think it looks cute. I hope you do too. So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to let it play out. And I just want to thank you for watching if you watched this far. If you please support me on Patreon. Begging you. And I don't know what else to say, but bye. I also forgot to mention earlier that I will try to remember and put a link to the video I talked about earlier in the description below. Also, if you have any of your own hair stories, please tell me about it in a comment, or any funny story. I didn't comment. Yeah, that's it. See you.